I'm Xanne Janssen, a senior lecturer within the School of Psychological Sciences and Health at the University of Strathclyde. My research focuses on the Better Days a concept which is based on the 24-hour movement behaviors framework. The 24-hour movement behaviors framework takes into account physical activity, sedentary behavior, and sleep. And this research, the study I'm doing, looks at the interaction between those three behaviors. What I hope we're going to find out is that ways in which we can support families, especially in deprived areas, to help their children establish healthy lifestyle behaviors. So we're looking at, for example, facilitators and barriers to a family's life in being more active or reducing screen time, for example. The research methods we are using are mixed methods, so we use quantitative as well as qualitative work. For the quantitative part, we're looking at how active our little preschoolers actually are, and we use that data to also create personalized visualizations. These personalized visualizations are then transferred into the qualitative research. And Vivo plays a crucial role within this research. Without Vivo, the research would take much longer, to be honest. We will use Vivo to collect all the data, to analyze it, and to draw up the results in a very efficient way.
Qualitative data is a fabulous tool for trying to find out the experiences of the people who are informing your intervention or your research. Qualitative data in my world is real-life experiences, and many evidence-based approaches perhaps lack a little bit of that real-life experience. So numbers can tell us one thing, but human beings and the human world can tell us so much more.
Within the qualitative research, what we do is we run what we call asynchronized focus groups. So these are basically activities that participants, parents participate in on an online platform, and the personalized visualizations will help them reflect on when a child was, for example, really active and what they weren't so active, and then reflect on why that was. So we're really trying to pin out on those barriers and facilitators. The way we use the personalized visualizations is that we hope they will assist parents to reflect in more detail. So what parents will see is something that looks a little bit similar to a clock, which then splits the clock up in the percentage of time their kids were active, sedentary, and at sleep. And if parents then look at, for example, Thursday and see, oh, my child was very sedentary that day, they might be able to then reflect and see why that was.
To collect the quantitative data, we'll be using accelerometers, which will be worn on the hip by the children for the 24 hours. We'll be able to draw that data out, connect it with the qualitative data to really inform the interventions moving forward.
The asynchronous methods are also quite innovative in our field. So previous research in other fields has shown that this really helps engage hard to reach participants, and young families are quite often really busy, quite often hard to reach, won't have time to come to the university to participate in research. So therefore, giving them methods where they can just engage whenever they want on an online platform, hopefully increase participation. Being a mixed method study, it has an important role in actually being able for us to use quantitative data to classify children into groups, for example, being active, being not so active, and then look and compare the results of the qualitative data within those groups and between those groups as well.
What Vivo does is it gives us the opportunity to really tease out the really important information from both sets of data to see and compare them with one another and better inform life choices moving forward.
And it gives me the opportunity to actually develop my qualitative research skills, which I really appreciate.
If anyone is applying for this grant in the future, I would thoroughly encourage them to do so. Grants give researchers some great opportunities to really identify life-changing opportunities for most people in the world who otherwise are not accessible and aren't getting a chance to improve their own lives.
So in a year's time, I'm hoping that we will have finished data collection and we start to analyze our data. And what I hope we will find is that we find some key indicators that highlight barriers and facilitators to living healthy lifestyles in young children. And with this data, then with these results, we can then hopefully improve future intervention development which target these behaviors in young families.